Hello everyone, welcome to this video lesson, Write Right with me. In today's presentation, you are expected to learn the different types of line graphs, including trends and key or main features of line graphs. You will also learn vocabulary to describe the graph. Moreover, you will learn simple sentence structure to describe the line graph. Line graphs can vary. On this slide, you have three different types of line graphs. First, you have a single line graph. Second, a double line graph, clearly because it has two lines. And the last one is a multiple line graph. You should know that the line graphs can have more than three lines, depending on the information presented in the graph. For your exam in level 4, you will be asked to interpret either a double line graph or multiple line graph, but not a single line graph. Now let's talk about the different types of trends. But first, you need to know what a trend is. A trend is the general direction, pattern, or movement that a group of points seems to be going in the graph. I want you to check the graph on the right side. Look at the movements of the line. Clearly, you can see that one point the line remains the same and on the other the line goes up and down. The common trends which you can see on any line graph are an upward trend, downward trend, same trend, and fluctuating trend. To describe different types of trends in the graph, you need to use different verbs. Let us begin with upward and downward trends. For upward trend, which means when the trend is going up, you can use the verbs increase, rise, grow, etc. An example of a sentence is the sales of gold increased slightly by about 80,000 riyals from March to April. Notice that the verb is in the past form, as the year indicated in the graph is in 2018. Additionally, a downward trend means when the line is going down. You can use the words decrease, drop, fall, etc. An example of a sentence is between April and June, the sales dropped sharply from roughly 1,80,000 riyals to about 40,000 riyals. On this slide, you can see many other verbs that can be used to describe the upward and downward trends. Pause the video and write in your notebook the words used to describe upward, downward trend in two separate columns. When you are done, play the video and check your answers. Remember, when you describe the graph in the past tense, you must change all the verbs into the past tense. You can check your answers here whether you have correctly placed the words under each column for upward trend and downward trend. To check your answers for the past tense of the verbs to describe the trends, you can check this. On this slide, you can see the same graph again. Take a note that the data in the graph may sometimes remain unchanged. If the line rests at the same value or point in the graph, the trend is stable or constant. So, which month or months in the graph shows the same direction or no change? Can you check the graph? If your answer is from January to March, then you're correct. For this, you can use some phrases to describe the trend. In this example, level off is used. Between January and March, gold sales in Nizwa leveled off at about 100,000 riyals. Take note that preposition at is used. Now, for fluctuating trends, if you see that the line moves up and down back again at a certain point in the graph, that trend is called a fluctuating trend. Check the graph for this trend. An example of a sentence is this. From April to December, the sales of gold in Nizwa experienced a clear fluctuations. On the slide, you can see the same graph again. For some major or key features, you can check carefully the details presented in the graph. Which months in the graph reflect the highest and the lowest points? For the highest points, if your answer is August, then you're right. Can you check the graph again and look at the point in the month of August? Yes, it is the peak. To describe this trend, you can use peak, reach a peak, hit the highest level or point, or in this graph sales. An example of a sentence is this. In August, the gold sales in Nizwa hit the highest amount at a little over 2,50,000 riyals. On the contrary, for the lowest point, yeah, you heard it right, the lowest point. Check the graph and find the lowest point. Let's see. Did you get it right? Yes, it's the month of June. To describe this trend, you can use the phrases bottom out, touch the lowest level, reach the lowest point. For example, in June 2018, gold sales in Nizwa bottomed out at about 40,000 riyals. Now you can do a quick exercise. I want you to look at the graph and carefully check the following: upward trend, downward trend, the highest point and the lowest point. Just one quick answer for each. Pause the video and write the answer in your exercise book. Play again to check your answers. Are your answers correct? Well, there could be more possible correct answers. If you know the trend, you can certainly identify each of the points. This ends the lesson on trends. Now let's move on to the next thing. In the next lesson, we will learn about the sentence structures that you can use to describe the line graph. On the slide, we have some adverbs which can be used to describe a small change between numbers or a big change between numbers. All of these adverbs can be used with the verbs for going up or going down. For example, we can say the number went up rapidly, or we can say the number went down gradually. On the slide, you can see sentence structure 1 and then verb, adverb. What does this one mean? It simply means that when you write a sentence to describe the data or information in the graph, you can follow this sentence structure. The box on the left side has verbs in the past form that you can use to describe upward or downward trend. Can you read each of them? And on the right side, you have the adverbs which you can choose from depending if the degree of change is small or big. Read each of the adverbs. This time, I want you to look at the next box with the example. The sentence is, from March to April, gold sales rose sharply. by about 80,000 reals. Rose is an verb in the past tense and sharply is an adverb. It shows the degree of change in the sales. Can you see that rose sharply is used, that is verb adverb combination. You can follow this structure when you start describing the line graph information. On this slide, you can see the sentence structure too. It is the adjective noun combination. Now, check the box on the left side. These are the adjectives you can use to describe the degree of change, whether the change is big or small. Do you see the difference? From the adverb sharply, now it is changed to sharp. Sharp is an adjective. Now, I want you to take a look at the box with the nouns written on it. Are you looking at the nouns now? Good. Remember that we used the verb rose in the previous example. Rose is a verb in past form. If it is changed to noun, rose now becomes rise. How do we use these words in a sentence? Please look at the example given on the rightmost box. The sentence is, from March to April, there was a sharp rise in gold sales by about 80,000 reals. In this sentence, sharp rise is used, that is adjective and noun combination. Please understand that you can also use this sentence structure in describing graph. So you do not use only one same sentence structure in your essay throughout. You keep changing and you use different sentence structures to make your graph look clear. Now, look at closely the two sentences and compare. In the first sentence, rose sharply is used, while in the other sentence, sharp rise is used. The difference is clear, including the order of words in the sentence. If you follow the way the sentences are written, it would be easy for you to write your description. You can follow any of these sentence structures easily. Try to practice writing your own sentences. In the next video lesson, we'll look at the structure of the graph essay, how to analyze the graph essay and group the important and key features. We'll learn how to write an introduction to the graph essay and an overview. That's all for. Make sure to like the video and share it with your friends and other students. Also, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any videos